Hey, John Rankin here. Tonight we're going to be interviewing yet another contestant from Play to Win. If you guys haven't had a chance to kind of go back and look at season one, you should. Season two is going to be so much different, but it really kind of helped you guys to understand. And tonight is my privilege to have Kelly Forrestal with us. She was on the show, was a complete beast on the show, on an opposing team of mine. So I'm gonna ask more questions because I didn't get a chance to really get to know her as well on the show, minus one joke, and you guys will have to watch for that.
It better be on there. I mean, really, it needs to be on there.
It will be on there because it was definitely funny. Kelly, I'm going to ask you a couple questions just so you can introduce yourself to my crowd and anybody that's watching, because like I said, I didn't get as much of a chance to get to know you on the show. But are you married? Do you have kids? Talk a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about yourself so that they can kind of get to know who you are.
For sure. Yeah. So I am a mom of one. I am married to my husband, Craig. We've been married for almost, 7 years now. It'll be 7 years in August this month. It's August, right? Oh my gosh. Where has the year gone? And yeah, so originally I'm from the Chicagoland area and born and raised Midwest gal, like always, want to talk to everybody. And the person at the grocery store is your best friend. That's typically how it works in the Midwest. And we got married in 2013. And about a little bit after that, we had found out that we had identity theft and basically had to uproot our entire lives down to Florida. I was fresh out of college. I had graduated college in 2011. And so during that time, it was really hard to find a job, honestly, at that time. The economy was not great. And so we ended up moving to Florida because that is where my parents were living. They had sold our house in Darien, Illinois, which is a small town little place. Actually, it's 30 minutes outside Chicago. It's not super small, but suburbs. And we've been in Florida basically ever since, which is so crazy to me because Florida's a different world. It's a different world down here.
So, I was born and raised just outside of Chicago, about an hour and a half outside of Chicago.
Where?
Peoria, Illinois.
Stop. Really? Yeah. My husband grew up in Crystal Lake, which is northwest suburbs. And I mean, I've got family friends in Peoria right now who are living there. So,
wow. Now, where are you at in Florida?
So I am in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Oh. It's about an hour north of West Palm Beach. So we're on the East Coast. People always ask about what's the difference of the coast? The West Coast is so very Midwest, and everyone's really nice and friendly, and you're going to meet a lot of people from Chicago. Actually, somebody at the grocery store, of course. I'm talking to the grocery store people all the time, you guys. But somebody at the grocery store actually lived in Darien, Illinois, over there. Crazy small town world. But on this side, it's very East Coast mentality. So that it was a change for your girl. Okay. Yeah. I was culture shocked when I came down here and nobody wanted to talk to me at the grocery store. And they're on a different kind of fast pace. Right. But it was a great learning experience. Now I don't know if we would ever move out of the state of Florida. I don't know if I could ever do the snow again.
Oh.
So I'm just saying.
Now, what was your degree in college?
So I was an organizational communication major, basically exactly like what we're doing right now. Ironically, really? I didn't know that I was going to go down this route, obviously, when I was in college, but I knew that I loved public speaking. I loved talking to people. I just wanted to do something more on the business side of it. So really that's what organizational communication is just business communication and all about presentations and things like that. So it definitely came in handy that fell into network marketing, but was not intentional.
So how old are you now? You're what, 30, 32?
31. Yeah, I'm 31.
Yeah. 31. was trying to piece together the dates between when you graduated college and being
Yeah.
married for 10 years. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay. All right, great.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit more about you. What do you think at this point in your life is the most important thing that you've learned?
In terms of business, life, like what do you mean?
Whatever.
Anything?
Anything.
So honestly, the art of letting go has been just the biggest thing. I think that there is so much just animosity and just emotion surrounding not being able to let go and having just constant control. That was definitely something that I had to learn the hard way. I was for sure like a control freak for a long time. And I would say that literally learning the art, it is an art to me because it does take actual concentration on how to learn to let go. And once you do that, though, your whole world starts to shift. So that's kind of a random answer, but that's for sure mine.
I don't know why, but that book, I haven't read it, but I've seen it at like the airport and stuff like that. The subtle art of not giving a
Hell yeah, that I've read that book. It's literally everything. So many people just care so much about what people think about them and, what are people going to say? I mean, people don't go after their dreams literally because they're afraid of what Karen is going to say on Facebook. And that just mind boggles me.
Yeah.
That I can't.
I brought it up several times. It's always been discouraging and amazing to me at the same time that when our children are growing up, we encourage them to dream that they can do anything in the world, that they're the best, that they can accomplish whatever they want. And it seems like as soon as they turn 16, it's like shut up, get a job, stop dreaming. Like you've got to do something like go to college, and it's always been just as I've sat back and even in my own life, I've had people like I had a very crazy life, and when I was pursuing mixed martial arts and fighting professionally, people are like, "You'll never feed your family with that. Knock that nonsense off." And that book is such a great book where basically you're like, "Screw you! I really don't care what you think."
It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I mean, big picture, it really doesn't matter what that person is going to say. I mean, and really letting go of the control is one aspect of it, but being able to just acknowledge that this is something that you're passionate about. Like there's so many people just are afraid to admit that they're passionate about something because of the societal norms that we have of going to college and doing the right thing. And I'll be honest, like that was me. Like I grew up in a very, I'm an only child. So it was my mom and dad. I'm very close with them. I had a great childhood. I was pretty much like a goody two shoes, so to speak. Like I drank a lot of alcohol and partied a shit ton in high school and college. And that's about, the extent of my crazy life. But I was always feeling this pressure to go to, I remember being in a corporate, my dog literally is in here and cannot breathe. She's got to get out of here. Go doggy. That's why she's in here. But I literally got to a point where I was in my corporate job, which mind you, I shit you not, the guy's name was Austin Powers. Like my boss's name was Austin Powers. Like that is not a joke, not a lie. I couldn't believe it either. And anyways, I'll never forget, first off, it was just so awkward. It was like the worst corporate American job I've ever had. And he thought he gave me his zip drive full of porn. He mentioned that was a fun one, right? Very fun. He mentioned going to Brazil and just like all these awkward comments. And I'm straight out of college, like 24 years old. Like, what am I doing here? I'm not doing this. I don't care that this is what my mom or dad wants me to do. Like, I know that I'm here in this world for bigger than just standing in this bathroom hiding from Austin Powers.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. I couldn't even imagine. Explain to me what that looked like, that corporate job for you as the communications, like big long title that you had for your degree. What did that
Yes.
look like?
So I was basically his assistant, and I helped him with all of the different communication things that he needed, from emails to organization to getting presentations together to working on websites and like really going through websites and designing the websites almost with them. It was a smaller company, so they were kind of getting their feet on the ground, merging into different areas to become like an umbrella company in a sense. They're still successful. It is a super successful company now. But when I got there, those were like my roles. And I mean, the occasional like following him around, taking notes in meetings, making sure, you know, things were getting done when they needed to get done. And so it was boring to me. I didn't feel challenged, if that makes sense.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, it was so boring. I would go there dreading the day and then leave dreading the fact that I had to go back the next day. And I was like, this cannot be the end all be all. I didn't go to college for this. So, you know.
It's funny. I was talking about this today at lunch, that so many people, I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but so many people go to college so young before they even know what they want out of life. They get a degree, and then by the time they're done with the degree, they realize this is not what I want to do with my life. And then they're stuck because they've made that $20, $30, $50, $75, $150,000 educational investment, and you go, well, I can't go back to school.
Right.
I've got, I've got all these bills now. And, it would almost seem that it would probably benefit people more to wait a couple of years and kind of grow up a little bit before they go charging off into college and deciding a degree path.
For sure. It was a huge thing in my family to go to college and, graduate in 4 years. That was like my goal. I don't know why would I want to graduate in 4 years? Like, string that shit out 6 years, like go party, go have fun. But I did it like as fast as I possibly could. And yeah, coming out of it on the other end, I was like, no, this is not it for me.
So as you were, explain that. So you're going to work, you dread working, you work with Austin Powers, which if you never he's like, and the guy even sounds like him. It sounds like a complete turd. How do you transition? What were you thinking about? Like, what was next? You started to internally go, surely I'm meant for more than this. And I think that probably resonates with a lot of people. I personally believe that many people have not lived up to their potential, and they're asking that same question. So what was your thought process? What were you thinking about as far as where you were going to go next? Did you have a plan, or did it just materialize one day? Talk to me about that.
So, it's funny because looking back now, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I'm like, my thought process then, of course, is what I feel like the majority of America's thought processes are now, which is like, I suck. This sucks. Life sucks. I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of throw spaghetti against the wall and hope it fucking sticks. Sorry, I totally just swore. But really, that's what I was thinking. I'm just going to throw some stuff up in the air and hope that this works out. And I remember obviously having conversations with my husband and him talking about it and talking to my parents about it, and just feeling, you just feel defeated. You really just feel like complete shit. There's no, that is what breaks my heart in a sense, to this day, but it also fuels my fire towards the industry, towards online social selling, just period, right? Not just network marketing, but just social selling, period. I feel having some type of passion-based business is so overlooked these days because people have those mindsets of, I'm just stuck here. This is just the way life is. This is just how it's supposed to go. And like, I totally thought all of those things, but I still did the scary stuff anyways. I still just kind of was like, I'm just going to do it. And I don't know what I'm doing. Still to this day, I feel like I'm just trying to figure stuff out as I go. Like, and I tell people that too, that, you know, I'm just here sharing my experiences, the things that I have learned to help other people try to not have that same feeling of being stuck, you know, and feeling like a tree. There was like quote, I mean, I just dove into personal development, obviously, you know, when I started just recognizing that there was more out there in the world besides just the 9-to-5 corporate America, that there was other options out there. I didn't know network marketing was even an industry at the time. Like, I didn't know that was even a term. But I just knew that I had it in me to do something that I was passionate about and make a living off of it. And I didn't know, but I just put one foot in front of the other, kind of a thing. Like, just really.
It's a good segue. So how did you get introduced to network marketing? Did you leave your corporate job and go all in? Because you seem that kind of personality to me. So, talk about how you got introduced to it, and then what did you do? Did you do it part-time, or did you, have a conversation with your husband? Go, boom. Just talk about that.
A little bit of both. So really, I fell into it. I was not working at this time. I graduated in 2011. We moved down to Florida in the beginning of 2012 for a very short period. I'll be honest, I hated it. We lived south of West Palm Beach. Just was a totally different lifestyle from what I was used to, or even it just was not good. So we ended up moving back to the Midwest for a year, got married, moved back down. And during that time when we had found out about the identity theft, then that's when literally overnight, we had to empty our bank accounts. Like, we're 24, 25 years old. I didn't have that much money, but to drop $20,000 overnight on just paying bills back, that was like a huge blow. Not to mention, it was 2 weeks after we had gotten married. And my husband was not aware of any of it either. So he was like completely just thrown from it. And that is what originally got me into it, because my health deteriorated and I gained, I think, like 40 pounds in 3 months. I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks the thyroid. And basically just kills it off, is what it is. And it just is an autoimmune disease. So I was like, I'm 25 years old. Like, I got to get my health together. Like, this isn't good that I gained this much weight so fast. I know it's Hashimoto's related. And so I fell into Beachbody coaching, like majority of people. I know so many other coaches that did the same thing, but I kind of just fell into it. And really, I was like, all right, I'm going to try these shakes. They look like they're really good for you. I could probably afford to drink these vitamins. And I just started to kind of share my journey of getting healthy on social media. Not like intentionally, not really even thinking much about it. There was no plan, or, I didn't know about attraction marketing. Again, I didn't even know that I was even doing anything. I just was kind of sharing my experiences with people on social media. And it kind of, then I recognized that, wow, there's a lot of potential here in this, not only in this business, but just maybe in this industry. And I did fairly well at Beachbody, and I was there for 2 years, and I wasn't like a crazy top earner or anything like that, but I did see some success. And then by year 2, I was realizing, okay, like, I could see how this is also very hard to see the level of success that I want to see. Not that I didn't have it in me, but I just started to recognize that there was more out there
Yeah.
in the industry and more things to look at. There was different compensation plans. There was different products. Like there was actually different things out there. And so then I jumped to a wine company. After that, they actually went under completely. And while I was there, I did see quite a bit of success. Again, there, not anything like I have recently, but I hit the top rank there and was seeing a little bit of decent success, but when it's wine, so that was I don't even drink. Like I really don't drink at all. So that's a hard sale when you don't
Right.
drink.
Right.
And it's wine. So from there, I ended up I was still there, but I was dipping my hands in other things. So I tried, a makeup company. I tried an activewear company. I tried, like all these different things. And finally, I've landed where I am now, which is like the Happy Coffee place. And so it's actually my sixth company. And I've been around the block, they say.
Yeah.
So this is company number 6. And I have been able to see some pretty decent success here, which has been really cool. But again, it happened like unexpectedly. I just was following my gut and really just learning a lot about the power of thoughts and listening to your intuition. And I was really scared, honestly, to move from the wine company because they had some really great leadership there. Like I actually learned a ton of stuff from the leaders there about the industry, about, how to actually run a business like this online. And so going off on my own, that was like really freaking scary for me. But obviously I'm super thankful that I did because I'm happy to be where I am now. But
so what did your mom, your dad, your husband, what did they all think?
yeah. So during this time, I started at the beginning. I just didn't have a job. So I just was like, let's put something on the resume. Then I ended up getting the job and doing Beachbody while working that full-time job I was telling you guys about, Austin Powers. And then once I hit a wall with Austin, I was like, this is too much for me. Like so awkward. I'm done with these sexual innuendos. Like I'm out of here. I ended up being a nanny for, I think like 2.5 years. And then I got pregnant. And once I was like, I had Connor in 2017. So I was pregnant in 2016. Once I got pregnant, I was nannying for a little bit and then ended up saying, I think I'm going to focus more on network marketing. And so that's when I was I was doing everything I felt like I could possibly try and do, and it just wasn't happening. And then I started to listen to my gut and I ended up jumping when I did. And the rest is history.
Yeah. So, you've had a fair amount of success. So talking about Play to Win, what was it that caused you? I mean, I always look at things from the perspective of you're already successful. What drove you to apply for the show and be on the show?
So honestly, I just was like, this is something I would never fucking do. Like I would never, it's not me. It's not me at all. And I was just like, I loved Ray and Jess and was like, this is something that scares the living crap out of me. I felt like I needed to just do it and level up and just, let's see what happens. Let's just give it a try. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I'm going to get some good coaching and meet some amazing people. And why the hell not? I am more that like, why not? Like, why not? Give it a go type of person.
I'm trying to think out of everybody on the show, it seems like all of you guys were already heavily involved in rank makers.
Yeah.
I already knew Ray and Jess
for sure
personally, but through following them on, the rank makers group and stuff like that. I'm going to write that down because I think I might be the only guy who didn't know them going into the show.
That's probably better though, for sure. I mean, because it does add like a level of, oh shit, like, oh my gosh. But
Right.
yeah.
So what was your favorite moment on the show? Now, remember, don't give away too much.
I don't know. I honestly, there was quite a few good ones. I really do hope the joke makes it, because I'm still to this day, what the heck? Okay. Like I totally believed this joke, you guys. That's basically what this comes down to, is I totally believed a lie, a joke, and it was a joke. And
I don't
was
even
like,
know why I picked you.
I mean, I was a great target. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I forget who it was. Maybe it was Marilyn. They asked me why you, and I was like, I don't know. It just seemed like the person to do it.
Perfect timing. Yeah, it really was though. And I mean, I believed it. Like I said, the Midwest gal in me was like, okay, hello. Right over my head. Did not even stop to not believe you. So I do hope that makes it.
I so hope it makes the editing.
Yeah.
You're so funny. All right. So what do you think was the most nerve-wracking for you on the show?
Definitely just really like, well, that's something I guess we'll have to see if it airs. But
yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's just being that close to Ray and Jess, like, and not knowing exactly what kind of coaching you're gonna get too. Like what's this? Just for me, I'm like I like to go with the flow, but I kind of would also like to have an idea at least of what to expect. And we really had no clue what was going to come next. And so that part was for sure the most nerve-wracking for me.
Right. What do you think out of everything that happened? Because there was a ton of stuff that happened on the show. What do you think was the greatest lesson that you learned as you look back at everything they put us through on that show? What for you was personally the best lesson that you took from it?
Oh man, honestly, just to be open to being coachable like that. I really feel like listening and being coachable and just really waiting, for that opportunity to take in what they have to say. That to me is like the most powerful thing, I think, like just recognizing that, one, hey, like you could be coached on, you know what I mean? And two, like actually taking in what they have to say, for not like they're doing that for a reason, So
yeah. Now, coming into the show, you and Megan were actually on the same team, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So talk to me about day one. You're looking across the room at everybody that's in there, and there's your teammate in the same competition with you.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was
really fun. Really, no, truly. Like it was like a sigh of relief to have somebody there that I knew for sure, because I mean, like I said, it was totally not something that I would do. I just was mainly like, let's see what happens. Like, why the hell not, kind of a thing. Like I was definitely, I'm a fan, and why not? I would love to be able to work with them on a higher, deeper level. And so having somebody there with me for sure was like having a little bit more of a comfort zone. I mean, to me, it was like, if, of course, like whoever wins. I wasn't there to like rip people down, you know what I mean? I was really there to be coached and to experience the experience, kind of a thing.
What else did you think? So that was comforting to you. Day one, we're all in there surrounding the couch. I don't remember where you were at that day, but as far as like if you're seated or standing or whatever. But what else was going through your mind as you looked through the group of people that were there? You've got your right-hand girl there with you. I mean, what was going through your head?
So obviously, I honestly was just trying to stay positive, like just trying to say like, this is good. It's scary, but it's good. Like, I remember being really freaking freaked out. Like, I don't know anybody. Like, what if people don't like me? Of course, like, these are things that it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction for those things to run through your head, right? To be like, oh shit, like, what if this person says, or what if this happens, or what if? So I literally would have to tell myself, like, just have fun, experience the experience, let go, let it flow, and let's see what happens. You know, you're surrounded by awesome freaking people. Live in that,
Yeah.
and kind of ignore the fear in a way. Like, just live in the excitement, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So show's over. It's been months. We're hit by COVID.
Oh my God.
Like the world has been turned upside down.
Wow. Yeah.
What do you think has changed the most for you since the show filmed?
Just like in life, it's so weird because I don't feel like much has changed. I feel almost guilty saying that a little bit because I do feel like this industry has blessed me in a sense where the fact that like this is my life all the time. My husband, I retired my husband, so he's home with my son and I, and so he does, you know, the basically stay at home dad jobs, and I work the business. So when everything happened, the only thing that was different was that we couldn't go to the park, or that, you know, we couldn't go to the beach or something like that. So to me, like I said, I feel like the biggest thing I learned was just to be open and like let go of the things that you just kind of have to like let it go. And it's a little scary. Like, we've got this thing coming. We don't know what we're going to be portrayed. You know, we don't know what's going to be aired. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing is it going to be? Like, these are the things that are naturally going to run through your mind. And so I've kind of just like blessed and released. Like, it was a great experience. I'm going to live in that, you know, the fact that we all got to connect and that we, you know, all really clicked too. Not only did we just connect, but we all really clicked, which I don't think that happens as the way that I did, like with people, period. So you know, to me, that's like kind of, I just stay in that space.
Yeah. So I've had this conversation with several others as I've interviewed, and there seems to be a lot of trepidation about the upcoming release of the show.
Yeah, for sure.
The nerves. Where are you at with that? Are you scared about the release of the show?
I mean, of course, it's after we filmed, I was like, holy shit. What did I just do? What did I get myself into? I cannot deny. I literally was like, what did you do? But now, I mean, months later, a lot of contemplation later, a lot of, you know, reflection on everything. Again, I'm just really blessed to have the experience under my belt, to say it's something I did, to say I got out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, that's not something that I would ever typically do ever. I was like the girl who would run the opposite way whenever we had to like run the mile or do something, you know, of that nature. So this, to me, like anything like, you know, relay races and things like that gives me so much anxiety. So I just have, again, I'm feeling pretty at ease about it now. Whatever happens. I'm me regardless. So, you know, it's still just a TV show too. So
yeah,
like,
I've been sharing with people. So we know that roughly the finale is going to, you know, be sometime at the end of October. There's only so much they can show. They literally filmed like
so much,
like 44 times 7. I mean,
yeah, ridiculous. It was a lot. It was hard work,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, some of those days were 12 and 14-hour days for us.
Yeah, they were long, for sure.
They were long and they were emotional. So, like, they're getting you all into your feels. And
solid like 5 days after I like needed to just recuperate and just lay and relax because I was wiped. It was for sure a roller coaster.
Interesting. Yeah. All right, great. Well, I want to just thank you for coming on the show and letting us get to know you. And, you know, looking forward to seeing what happens with the show. And I'm with you. I really hope the joke plays. I don't know if it will.
I know. We're gonna be so upset. We're gonna like make sure that it somehow gets out there.
If you guys haven't seen it, it's really funny. I thought it was really funny. The whole day I thought it was funny. So
I mean, we still joke about it to this day. Like everybody still jokes about it. So it's a good one for sure.
Yeah. So it's good natured though.
It was. It really was. I can't even deny it. So
well, great. Stay in touch, and then as the show gets released, feel free to share this and promote the show, and look forward to seeing you whenever we get to see each other again.
All right, Bob.
We're in Florida, and it's crazy down there, but stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Stay on for just a second after we end the broadcast.
Okay, perfect.